For all the Nigerians who are watching, I'm gay.
With that video, like when I was talking to my one of my friends in Nigeria, I was like, Dayo, you shook the internet.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The amount of calls and text message I got just being friends with Dayo, and that video came out.
it was a moment for it to happen.
Yeah.
I get it that, I was a little inhibited to a certain extent. For those who saw the video,
Inebriated.
Just a little bit. But at the same time, it was my truth.
Yes.
And I'm forever happy that I was able to share that with the world. And I'm past the point in my life where I have to pretend to be someone else or keep denying who I truly am.
Anyone who knows, that pretending is definitely not one of your strong suits.
But when it comes to sexuality, it's not something if you have to trace back to Nigeria.
Well, I'm so sorry to my Nigerians. If you know Dayo back on IB TV, come on, man. Sis, come on.
It was always about my lip gloss.
Dayo, you were glossy.
People were like, of course.
It was because of you that they sang My Lip is Poppy. What's that song? Little Mama?
Little Mama said,
what you know about me? What you know about me?
No,
my lip gloss. You use a lot. What?
I used to. I remember that when I'm about to record something, I'm even my camera guys always knew. If I didn't have lip gloss, where's your lip gloss? Because that had to come on with my white powder, which we'll talk about some other time.
And the concealers were really, really good.
Well, concealer, I don't know much about concealer because, darling, I'm forever 21.
Yes, of course.
But, I think all of those moments led to this very moment that we're in right now, where I can easily sit there and just talk about my sexuality and be like, yes, I'm a proud gay man.
But you've been doing it for a very long time, even though you're my best friend, my brother now.
Yes.
Back then, that I don't know you, that I only know you on TV, you are like a gay icon. When I turn on the TV, I'm like, oh, okay, Dayo Din, back in your faces.
That was my first line. What's up, y'all? Shippo right here, DAYO, back in your faces.
Yes. You've always been that person, but a lot of people don't get to actually see you or see us in our real element.
Yeah.
It's either you are part of the coalition or you are not. But you kind of as someone I see on TV that I identify with. And I feel like that's part of what we are trying to do now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. When I think about, just going back to Nigeria, when I started working on TV, I would even get messages on Facebook at the time. It was more Facebook. And it was people who are gay reaching out to me on Facebook and saying, oh my God, I'm happy you're doing this. But I just didn't know I didn't know what to say to them at the time because I was also hiding. But sometimes when your truth is your truth, it's not something you can actually keep. Even when you try so hard, you can't keep it.
No.
So when I think back now, I'm like, oh my God, I'm happy that, me being myself, even while I was, being a reporter, people were still able to see through me and still identify and say, okay, we like what you do.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll always say this to people, there's nothing as beautiful as being yourself.
Yes.
There is absolutely nothing.
Yes. And it's so sad. People that claim to love us, our family, they don't know how much of us they are missing.
Exactly.
From not knowing that side of us. It's like you have two person in one, and we are and gay men. Oh my God, we can compartmentalize. Hey, that life will not meet if you don't want it to meet. And that's so painful that you don't really get to see the most joyful part of us when we are 100% ourselves, and then they push you away and all that.
But that's okay. I always like that. I think that's okay because in the process of actually being yourself, you create your own family.
Yes.
You then identify people that really like you for who you truly are. I'm gay and you're still right with me. You still rock with me. You don't care what anybody has to say. We have those friends. I've turned into family now that you mentioned Ayo. I'm riding with Ayo. Mention Dayo. I'm riding with Dayo. All of that stuff. And for me, it's a sense of fulfillment because now I know that this is not just any type of fake love. It's real love. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about coming out is that you start to segregate. The people you thought you loved you really never loved you. And the ones you actually thought didn't give a shit about you are the ones that will be like, wow. You'll be
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that reaction from you. But they just let you know, look, you're a human being and I love you, not because of your sexuality,
Yes.
but because of who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people really need to understand. Like, we all have our essence, what really makes us who we are. And that is what we need to see in each other. Like, past the whole, what would people say about this? But of course, being from Nigeria, it's always about, what would they say? What would they say?
Yeah.
Like, even when I came out, people were like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I came out. Did the world stop spinning? No.
Nope.
Did you stop breathing?
No.
No. The world continued.
Does this still mean you're not going to have sex tomorrow?
Absolutely. Ching ching.
Oh, God.
Oh God, you're me.
Let's talk about hysterical. So hysterical. That video, my God.
First of all, kudos to Mike Adrian who produced the song.
Yes.
He just sent me the beats and I'm like, all right, I'm going to record on this. And then we had the song. And then I met Armando, who's actually behind the camera right now. Again, he's such a phenomenal human being.
Yes.
And we sat together, we put it together, and the video just came out. I'm like, whoa. Of course, I was scared at the time. Like, do I really want to release this video for everyone to see? I'm like, what are you scared of? This is who you are, Dayo. Boom. And everybody loves that video.
Oh, God.
That
You know my
freaking
favorite
video.
part?
I know, the green skirt.
when you turn, can you do that again?
Oh, let's see. But again,
oh my God.
it was all in the moment. Like, I was just having fun on set. Thanks to, working with Armando. Like, he kept saying, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And that was all I hung on to the entire night. I'm like, I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to have fun. Shout out to, of course, everyone else I worked with. Maddie, Sophia, Julio, Ashley, Brian. Well put together production. We had a great time. And I'm glad people really liked the video.
With this video now, can you just think about where you are now and where it started from? What was your first experience that I like same sex?
Look, I've always been attracted to men for as long as I can remember. Even as a child, when I was 8, I think then it was more like hanging out with the girls. You always loved the feminine stuff.
Yeah.
I was very close to my mom at the time. My family were all boys. But I just had this likeness for my mom most of the time, especially when she dresses up. Like when people see me now and they're like, where does your style come from? I would always give the credit to my mom.
Mrs. Ephraim.
Because Mrs. Ephraim was that woman, being a Yoruba woman, there was always an Owambe party to attend. But I was always very fascinated with how she will bring fabrics together. You know Owambe, we are both Yoruba guys.
Yeah.
The mask, the ashoke, the gear. She has bought this new lace. There. It will my match by. Okay. But, so I would always look at her then and be fascinated, like, wow. So I think that's where my love for colors actually started from. And I'm like, it transcended into me. Of course, I don't wear gillies now, but not to say I'm not going to wear gillies. If I want to, I can wear it. But it was just always looking at her and just seeing how she loved fashion. And I think that's where it all started from. So it all traces back to that. And of course, being around females, I would always be very fascinated with the things they do. If it's their heels, I love heels.
There's just something about heels.
Like my mom loved heels too. And
me too.
When we're growing up, she was like, "Oh, you can see when I was young, I was always wearing those." My mom hates people that can't walk in heels. She'd be like, why would you wear heels and you're walking be and go for shubu? No, you carry yourself. So I think that's where all of this. It was like a layer, she kept putting over me, and I was absorbing. But in terms of being attracted to men, I've just always.
Just give us an example. Like, was it a magazine? I started watching porn when I was 10.
Oh wow!
Talking about oversharing.
I mean, look, it's good that you're actually saying that because I have my own story when it comes to pornography. People find it hard to believe, but I don't watch porn, and you know this.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like I believe in, why would I be watching someone when I can do it myself?
I don't think so. I love to watch porn. I'm so sorry.
I get it, but people get turned on by, but it's never been a thing for me. Even at being so naive when I was young, like when you talk about dick, when you talk about pussy, I went to an only boys school. And I remember a lot of because then it was King's College. We had the main campus and we had the annex. And when I started, I was on the main campus and I had this, then we have this like school father the ones who are older. Look, that's another story. But then when they will talk about like...
So wait, you had a school father?
Oh, I had school fathers, darling.
Of course.
I had school fathers, like a lot of people. It was crazy. Like there was this particular, I'm not going to mention his name, but you know who you are, who, would do... when you're talking about like attraction. And this
you just say you know who you are.
I don't want to mention his name. Whoever you are, if you're watching this, you know exactly who you are. And then, then he will like come and meet me. Oh, you're handsome. He'll take a comb, be combing my hair. Like he was just always like. So I was young. I was in my formative years. I was probably 11 at the time.
Okay.
And this was someone who was probably like 14 because he was in GSS 3. I was in GSS 1. And then he will always come up to me, brush my hair, tell me, oh, did you put powder on your face today? So I kind of had this liking for him, like, oh, this guy really cares about me. Until when he tried to molest me. And for that reason, I had to leave the boarding house because I was super traumatized. I fainted. They had to call my parents. Yeah, it was a whole thing. That's why I don't really want to mention his name, and I hope he's changed and he doesn't do that anymore. But, it was a moment for me where I was like, wow, I gave you all of my trust and you just smashed it in my face. Like when the whole thing happened, now I remember, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And it speaks to, people who go to the same sex school. Sometimes you have people who genuinely care about you, but some people are doing it for the ulterior motive.
Yes.
And that was this guy. So that was where, I lost every confidence in trying to trust anyone. And yeah, the rest is history now. I moved on.
It's funny. It's funny that you said that because it just makes me realize the amount of because growing up in Nigeria, the amount of molestation a lot of young boys might have gone through, and we just don't have conversation about that.
Yeah.
And similar experience when I was in school, because I was really young compared to the other person as well. But we are both in the same school, where it's like my senior school father kind of thing.
Exactly.
And not until you say it now, and I think about what happened. I never sit down to think about
this with you. That's so true.
Yeah.
We've never talked about
We
this.
never talked about this. And now you mentioned that, like, oh my God, the same thing happened. But it didn't just dawn on me until now that, wait, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It just does sound like, it's not, you don't talk about it.
And it's very traumatic. Like now, because I've moved on, obviously then I was 11, but it lingered. It lingered. Like even trusting people became very hard. Like even when you meet boys, then because I was from a religious family, I didn't get to like go out and explore as much as I would have loved to. But when I started meeting gay men, it was like, there's this part of me that was like, oh, can I really trust this person?
Yeah.
Because every time I try to trust, I just remember what happened to me. And then for me, the reason why it really hurt was because in King's College, if you have to become a prefect, if I have to say, I'm going to blow my horns a little. I was that guy who wanted to be a prefect, wanted to be the head boy if I was able to. But because of what happened, I had to leave the boarding house. And to become a prefect, you have to be in the boarding house. But of course, Dayo always is, I do a lot of firsts. Let's put it that way. When I was in my final year in SS3, my grades were great. The teachers loved me. I was the first day prefect since 1909.
Wow.
When King's College was established. And I remember then all the teachers were rallying, Dayo has to be a prefect, because I was a day student. After what happened, I never went back to the boarding house. And then I became the punctuality prefect.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get there, because if you know Dayo, he's never ever punctual to anything. Nothing that I know, not even to get to this podcast studio. Because each time he tells me this story about him being the punctuality prefect.
Yeah.
How?
I know.
Tell me how.
I think about it. I'm like, wow, I'm always late for everything. But I mean, I'm just on time. Everyone else is just super early, but I'm on time.
Yellow day. Yellow day time. But you know what? One thing I also like about this conversation is timeline.
Yeah.
We mentioned like 10, 11, 14. And it's so funny, when people are like, hey, he's gay because he moved to America.
Oh, that's another story. Even when I came out to my parents, I remember my mom and my dad would be like, oh, is this a habit? My mom was like, she don't want to see USA. She ain't going. I'm like, no. no, this is who I've always been.
It has always been there.
And I really wish, I know I get it for our parents, they lived in a different era where culture-wise, things are all different to them. They don't understand what it is to be gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the best I can to explain to my parents. I know even up till now, my parents are not still accepting, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about respect. And I will not stand for anybody that tries to make you less of who you are.
Yes.
And I always say to my parents, look, before anything, I'm your son. I'm your child. Look past the sexuality. I am your son.
Yeah.
So I came through you. If this is who I am, if you can't embrace it, then it's like you're hating a part of you. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's just how I see it.
I'm just wondering now, like, if there is anything to say, like you mentioned something like people don't understand what it means to be gay. So if you're going to explain to a typical Nigerian what it is to be gay, or like they say, that gay. I hate that word.
I can never get past it every time I see it.
I don't like that word. But like, what is it to be gay? What does it mean to be gay, right? What does it really mean to be gay?
It's a lot. You and I are from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Apart from being from Nigeria, it's a very religious country. So religion takes like the center stage of everything.
And judgmental.
Very judgmental. That part too as well. I know that there are a lot of gay people in Nigeria who are scared to express themselves the way they want to. But you're not alone. You're different. You're different for a reason. I always look at it as my difference is my power. Like, people might not understand it, especially in Nigeria, which is okay. But it's always about respecting people and respecting a human being for who they are.
Yes.
Everybody should be free to do whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
And if we want to go by the whole religious thing, because I was raised a Christian, I am still a Christian, a born-again Christian. Jesus said it. He came to die for our sins. And when the disciples asked him, what is the greatest commandment of all?
Madam, this is not, we are not doing this. We are not doing this.
For the sake
we are
of
not
the
doing
religious
this
people.
today. We are not.
Jesus said it. The greatest commandment of all time is love. Love. I keep saying it. Jesus himself said it. So if Jesus said that, if he said the greatest commandment of all time is love, then who cares what you have to say? I don't. Because Jesus loves me. And it's when that love is able to spread into our hearts, then I think we'll be more accepting of, okay, this person's different. I like to fuck men. I like to fuck women. He likes to fuck men.
I was like, okay.
You're different, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hate you or I'm going to try to bring you down.
Because you're MSM doesn't mean anything.
I beg you. Oh, God, you. Because you know how much I hate that MSM.
For people who are wondering what MSM is,
go ask your mama.
You want to tell them what MSM is?
I know you tell them, honey.
MSM means men having sex with men. I don't know what conversation actually brought that thing up.
But this is like an old, like back in the days.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I encountered some guy back in Nigeria. So I didn't know that there's a code on how you find out if someone is gay or not. And then this guy came to me. Are you TB?
You even said it was not TB, not TB. I'm like, that was not TB. Then when you have all those your friends.
But like, are you TB? I was like, what do you mean if I'm TB? Then my friend that is with him was like, he's TB, Jared.
No, those MSM, those TB, I can't stand it. You be TB. I'm like, who you? No, your mama be TB.
I mean, what does TB means?
It's just top or bottom.
Top or bottom, yeah.
But I think when you say with that Nigerian accent, what's our friends? Not TB. It's so
good.
So
are you
funny.
TB? I couldn't get over. I
didn't really explore a lot in Nigeria. That much because of my family. I was always like home.
Madam, what didn't you explore much?
My dear, I didn't. I was always
wait.
Honest.
What do you mean you did not explore? I mean, you did not explore the gay site, or you did not explore your sexuality.
Of course, darling.
Exactly.
I explored my sexuality, but when it comes to those like apps, I wasn't really on
you
them.
didn't really use the apps.
My own was Yahoo. Remember Gay Men's Lounge?
Oh, Yahoo Chat.
Yahoo Chat.
Oh my God.
Gay Men's Lounge,
20s Lounge.
And then we'll have to leave the house and
for
go
whatever
to the business
reason.
center.
I go to lesbian lounge. I love the lesbians.
Why?
My God.
That's
I
like-
just love my lesbians.
Oh, okay, well, kudos to the lesbians.
You know, one thing I like about lesbians sometimes, as a feminine man, and when I see lesbians that are very masculine, it's like, I don't know how to say, it's like they have some things that I don't have. Like, I think about some of my very butch.
Which is like a contrast.
Yeah, like the
Okay.
contrast between like their masculinity when they're supposed to be feminine, and my own is like, if I give you my own femininity, and you give me your
Masculinity.
I will be the perfect man that everybody expected you to be. Because when I think about like how I was bullied back in school because I decided to sit. Báwo ló ṣe worrying, man? Why are you dragging? Sit properly. Oh, why do you like pink? Why are you watching too much of Beyonce's video? Like, why won't I watch Crazy in Love that time?
That's another
choreography.
topic entirely.
But then you see this beautiful girl that has all those I'm like, look at Sarah walking like a man. Like, look at Sarah walking like a man and look at Deji walking like a girl. And it's like, and I just kind of like find it so, like when they say opposite attract, it's like an opposite that attract at that moment.
The beauty.
And I just love, when I see lesbians, I'm like, oh yeah. So for whatever reason, I was in the lesbians.
This guy loves lesbians. And I love like, no disrespect to lesbians. You guys are great, but this guy loves the lesbians.
Oh my God. I don't want to use the word back in the days because we are, how old are you again?
I'm 39.
Oh,
actually, yeah, I'm 39.
Oversharing. I forgot. Oversharing.
Yeah, I'm 39,
Okay.
Well, I tell the people I'm forever 21, darling.
When you think about the 39 years old that you are.
Yeah.
You bitch.
39 that you are. How old are you? You. How old are you?
The crown queen.
Excuse.
The crown queen. I am your princess.
Excuse you. I'm forever 21.
You are the crowned queen.
You know what? We're not going to talk about age anymore.
I just want to know, who are your Nigerian crushes back then? Because I have many.
Oh my God. It's a very hard question because, I've worked in the entertainment industry, so I saw all of these guys, they'll come, but I feel like if you have to, I won't say crushes per se, but it was people that I really, really liked. And I think one person that really comes to mind right now is the Banj.
Oh.
The Banj was such a trailblazer. Like,
I loved it.
When it came to the fashion, I remember even the Banj coming into our office space in Hape TV back then, the perfume he'll wear. I felt like, now when you're talking about the total package, the Banj was always that total package in terms of how he presented himself, stage presence, his performance. Like, he was just that person. I'm like, wow, this guy, he had that X factor to him at the time. And I say this to say, he's definitely part of the people that definitely, paved the way for all of the new artists that we have now on the Afrobeat scene that have come out, that have crossed over into the US. And a lot of people talk about Afrobeat music now. We're like, okay, it's not just people. There are people that did the groundwork, the Plantation Boys, the Two-Face Adibia, the Blackie.
What even happened to all the Plantation Boys? Because I know
it was
Two-Face,
Blackface.
Blackface.
Yeah.
Blackface and Two-Face is just kind of like, we don't even hear anything about them anymore.
I mean, they had their moments, as with every group, there's always that, friction that happens every now and then. But everybody went their separate ways. Face came up with Columenta. Remember Columenta?
Oh my God, Lamenta Craze.
Stop
the craze.
Hey.
How would they run in this place? Face Columenta.
No, I swear. Like, when you think about him, I'm like, wow. So now when I see all these new artists, they are fantastic, they're phenomenal, but I think about the work that a lot of their predecessors did before them, and they paved the way for them. So yeah, back to your question, like, people I really liked, the band, I admired him a lot. Lynx was, I think Lynx is just eye candy. Like, you look at Lynx and you're like, oh, Lynx This is definitely eye candy. Cass too as well.
Oh, Cass. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni mi ò
swagger.
Female baby.
Female
I love that song. You know, those are all the songs that you wind your waist to. Like,
Exactly.
Female baby. Oh my God.
My shamey baby.
Who can I?
Who are your crushes?
I actually really like FaZe. Oh my God. I
Yeah,
love FaZe.
Because I know you and I know the kind of guys you like.
Oh my God.
It makes a lot of sense. Oh, I know this.
Oversharing now.
Well, oversharing.
Oh
God. Oversharing in the sense that it's so funny that when we go out together, you know the kind of men I like.
Yep.
I know the kind of men he likes. And then, we're like, remember even
And you know
like
the
2 days
best part
ago?
about it? We are so opposites in men.
So opposite,
in
which
fact,
is a good thing because
I will
this
leave my
bitch a long
man
time
naked
ago.
in front of Dayo. Because nothing is going to happen. Zero attraction. Same thing goes for me. We just don't like the same guys.
We don't like the same kind of guys. But I just love the fact that I know the kind of men you're like. And when I see him, I'm like, oh, this is the kind of guy that DJ is going to like. You see the
But
kind
sometimes I've seen you cross the spectrum now.
I mean, it's always good to
With
experience.
Maluma, you kind of like cross a little bit.
I mean, that's my husband.
oh.
Maluma's cheers to him. Maluma, wherever you are, I know you have a baby now and a wife or a girlfriend. Well, I love you all, but you'll always be my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very. I have a certain type of man that I like, but I cross over once in a while. Sometimes you have a lot of vanilla. You want to do some like chocolate, pistachio.
I was such a big fan of the banjo song. Like, I really, really loved banjo. Do you know the funniest one? I crushed on Dean really for a minute.
Wow.
For a minute.
Tell me more.
Just one
I mean,
minute.
I would see that happen because Dean really is very slim.
Yes.
He has a slim
Oh, no, you're
physique.
oversharing now. Everyone is going to know what my type looks like.
Welcome to Oversharing,
No.
darlings.
But, yeah, I crushed on Dean really for 1 minute. And then I quickly
You're like, that's my
Jesus
sister.
Christ.
No.
But I loved Dean really. Like, oh my God, I loved Dean. Literally, I've just been that,
Yeah.
being that guy.
Then you even talk about like talking about people that paved the way, especially in that broadcasting scene.
Yes.
It's been there a long time.
Oh my God.
Long time.
Yeah. Oh my God. But honestly, I really enjoyed our conversation today.
I know.
The conversation was conversationing.
We were oversharing.
Anyway.
And I loved it. Even my arms are oversharing, but that's what we like to do here, overshare.
My name is Ayo.
And my name is Dayo, and you're welcome to
Oversharing.
Already. Oh, God.